What do you want people to know about climbing? Like, are there any myths or are there any things that you're like, people don't know this, but this is true about climbing?
Yeah. I guess kind of two things came to mind. One is that it is, I would say, pretty safe. I mean, I feel like it gets like a rep of like, oh, an extreme sport, but I'd say like most of the injuries are just like normal injuries. Like if you're training at an elite level, like you're gonna get, overuse injuries or, fingers, shoulders, elbows are like the biggest thing in climbing. But that just comes from, basically overtraining or just training at this level. But like the actual like height factor and all those things, it's actually very safe. So I would say like yeah, don't think it's like some scary thing that you have to be like an adrenaline junkie to even try. Like no, we have people of all ages, up to, I mean, we have people in their 70s and 80s still climbing, as well
That's
as,
cool.
2 and 3 year olds, like in the gym climbing. So it's like any age, any gender, any shape, like any size, you can all try climbing, and it is relatively safe. Just, I mean, any sport has its risks, but, and the other thing I would say that I sort of touched on already is, that climbing is very, very community based. Even in the competition scene, there's none of maybe like the smack talking or anything that you see in like other sports. Is in the sports side, we really feel like it's ourselves versus the wall. Like I want to show up and do like the very best I can that day, but I also want my competitor to do that, and whoever is best that day is better. Like that's who wins. But like we really all are friends, and that's also true like in the gym. Is anytime you're in the gym, if you're like having trouble with a climb, you can always like ask the person next to you for advice, and like they will happily give it. And it's like you have people cheering people on all the time, and it is just a super like community based sport. I think because our roots are like essentially started with some like hippies hanging out in the woods like climbing rocks together is like sort of where climbing started in the United States. That we still do have some of those kind of roots in our sport, and I hope that never changes, because that's like one of my favorite things about climbing is how friendly and how nice and just like community based it is, no matter where you are, and like very beginner to like very elite professional level. It's like that has never changed for me, and I hope it never does, because that's awesome, I think.